already told us we had 30 years from 1970 to get ready for what was coming. Right? So in 2000, they take Baba off the scene. So now we had to readjust all of the pieces on the board. The lead pieces now have to fall to the back. So now you got to let what's called your second rank advance across the lines. Your second rank on the fifth dimensional chessboard is your flying kings that came from the checkerboard on the patriarchal agenda and landed on the chessboard to try to conquer a matriarchal domain. So you capture the flying kings. All that mean is the ones that be flying around in airplanes in the public like they really running something, right? They just checker pieces on the chessboard. That's your politicians, your flying kings, the ones that go around and pretend to be delegates on the behalf of a secret society. Acting like they the royal families, but all the time, they just flying kings on the chessboard. They in the wrong domain. So now with all of the flying kings from the checkerboard, the red and the black checkerboard, Scottish Rite 32-degree Freemasons land on the black and white chessboard, they in the domain of the queens. Right? This how their game is played. I'm just telling y'all how it's played. In the domain of the queens, when the flying kings, what we call them aliens and we call them Anunnakis and all that shit, it's a game.
Go ahead.
It's a game for the man. Remember Dr. Clark said it was a war on our culture by giving us artificial minds, making us believe something about ourselves that was collectively untrue.
Go ahead.
This is the game. So all of the secret societies, mama's boys, y'all call them Masons. But they the mama's boys to the queens. All of the queens got one son that they picked that to defend the family against spiritual and physical threats.
Go ahead.
I'm the worst of mama's boys. I'm number 7, and they call me last. I came in on 10. That's November the 10.
Go ahead.
Initiated 10 toes down at birth. Right? On a 45 on a 10-15 time slot.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. Given the time share or the queen's share of the pie on the upright, because 1 through 9 had to be exhausted before I can get my chance to turn the clock. Right. So when everything turn around, people becomes aware of the games being played. Right? They catch on to the illusion that's being played. The flying kings from the checkerboard, the fake kings, became the cat's paw for the opposing team on the chessboard in the Queensland on the black and white.
Go ahead.
The black and white is the protectorate degree of the shrine, your Scottish Rite, in all Red House activities. The shrine is the shrine that the Black Madonna is seated in on the Red House. But you can't see her through the Red House unless you're looking from the Blue House. Otherwise, you seeing mirrors.
That's right.
So you have to rescue the queen, right, from the minaret. Remember how they always got the queen in the tower, right?
Go ahead.
The tower is the rook on the chessboard.
Go ahead.
This is your El Rookin, your Black Peace Stone Nation. So now it goes to, okay, if this is on the Blood House, right? If this is true, that means that Angel Bay, Jeff Ford, if it's true, he's going to send a bishop.
That's right.
He gonna send a bishop out west because he can move at an angle. The angle is to organize Peru, the Blood Nation, right? To give them a structure for redeeming our land from the enemy when the time comes. It's called an OG call on the West Coast, but we use literature in the Midwest, right? So who would be the bishop? We know him as T. Rogers.
Go ahead.
Right? So the bishop went out on a T. In masonry, that's called a T square. That's a unit of measure. Right? And the T crossed the top of the I. Right? And TI take us back to ATL. Now we talking about the historical perspective. Why ATL?
Wow.
Right? ATL is Atlanta.
Yeah.
This is where they begin establishing the Dawes role, switching us out.
Go ahead.
They're shifting the pieces on the chessboard because they gonna block all of the institutions with pale faces.
Go ahead.
But pale faces got mama's boys too.
Go ahead.
Right? So what mama say? I'm gonna talk to the pale face sister over there to send some of the mama boys to go inside where you can't go and put the secret out in the open.
Go ahead.
Right? So Aleister Crowley, the wickedest man in the world, right? That's what he famed himself, the great beast. Left hand path magic, Red Lodge, Freemasonry. He said, I went in there and got all of this knowledge so I can come out and put it in the streets. Franz Bardone, initiation in the Hermetics, right? Hermetic rites, teaching the mystic how to be a mystic in written format.
Hey, keep going.
Blue House Knock, right hand magic. So Franz Bardone and Aleister Crowley met and they didn't want to meet again. That's two men shaking and going their separate ways, separating red from blue. All of these things are structured for us. All of these things are structured for us to remain in perpetual ignorance if we don't never figure out that the games they play. And Felipe Wins sang the song, Games People Play. Right? So if you don't know the game, and the game is the game of life, that's a street knock. And if you're knocking up and down the street, you must be a concrete gorilla because you're rocking in the concrete jungle.
That's right.
So these gorillas start knocking the ground, we start bouncing off these skyscrapers. And we make a very peculiar sound as we knock around. Pillar to post, we go. We gonna get these mothers out one way or another.
Go ahead.
It's a game of awareness of self and your identity to where you belong on the land. The secret is if you put your palms to the earth and your forehead and your knees and you ask Mother Earth where you belong, you're gonna unmistakably know if you're from this land or not. And if you ain't from Earth, she might cut you off anyway, so it ain't gonna matter. The whole script, narrative, all of this technology is ancient. There's nothing new under the sun. We've done this before. Every close of the age, we do the same cleanup from a different system. Whatever didn't work, we cast that off. We keep what worked, and we let the society run in the error until you get to the point where you can take all of the errors out. That's what you call moving into a golden age.
Hey, somebody asked.
Right.
Go ahead. Say all the 33-degree Masons good, or how did that connect with the what we talking about now?
Look,
it's all conjure. Go ahead. It's all conjure.
Listen to the bad. It's a game of universal good cop, bad cop. It's a game of universal who right, who wrong. In the God mind, if there's a possibility of anything, it's a certainty of everything. Right? If you can conceive it in your psyche, it's going to play out in the reality, or else it's not possible to exist. It just might not play out in the manner you see it.
Right. To me, 33 degrees is like it's really all a shrunk. It's really we're dealing with Big Mama's calendar about the degrees when the sun coming in Tropicana, when the sun coming in springtime. It's really dealing with it's really like doggone teachings.
Hey, I'm finna send you this again.
It's gonna be hard for me to slide it to this computer because I'm on my other computer where I had to slide it to that computer, then slide it to the hard drive. So I ain't in that room. I'm in the back room because I'm gonna reset my office up to this back room, but I had did it yet. So I'm gonna have it done tomorrow, so I can be able to do everything. Hey, Broad, you cut out.
I'm here.
Oh yeah. So like, if you send me something now, I won't be able to slide it to this laptop right here. I only have to slide it to my other laptop, then put it on my this hard drive right here. Then slide it to this.
Okay, we ain't gonna worry about it. So
about an hour. You want to take about 30 or 40 minutes worth of questions? Because you got a lot.
Yeah, we could do. We can go to Q&A.
All right, because we got a lot of people on here asking a lot of questions. Hey, if you got some questions for the brother Rod concerning the topic. Okay, somebody asked. I think he talked about that already. Is California going to flood? What about the different safe zones, Rod?
Look, it's floods happening in California already. Vegas or Nevada, I should say. This because of the changing in the flow. When the water, when the pole center reverse polarity, it's gonna have to have an effect on land, air, and water.
Thanks.
We're gonna see the effect on the meters by reading Schumann resonance, watching the changes in the frequency, because these are notes, musical notes coming from the center of the earth that's being read by machines that man made to read them.
Yeah, seismograph.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they can show you what the Schumann resonance is doing. And if you're watching how it's responding to the solar rays, exactly, then that unlocks to you the connection of heaven to earth. The sun representing the crown chakra, right? Mm-hmm. And the crown chakra talk to the heart chakra represented by the earth. And it's the heart and mind, right? Mm-hmm. Is the balance between intelligence and creativity. Right. And it's the ability to be able to assimilate masculine and feminine understanding of the mechanics of life. Right. So we're going to see flood zones, but Mother Earth going to tell you to move if it's time to move. Watch the animals.
Watch the bird. Watch the bird.
I've been telling people this for ever since I've been doing this. Watch the animals.
Thanks.
When they say get gone, get the fuck gone. Because they not going to stay where the disaster going to be. And they going to understand what Mama Earth said before you ever figure out she said something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right, Rod. That's true.
Pay attention to the animals. They going to tell you. Man setting fires in warfare right now. And it serves another purpose of giving the alternative explanation for the red iron oxide that's going to be permeating the atmosphere more and more on the next upcoming months or so.
Man,
more cities. Yeah, man, more cities going to be reporting that dust on their cars and all that stuff. They're going to be putting it on social media. Y'all going to see it.
That's right.
Right. Now,
like Hawaii always burnt to the ground. Hawaii.
Yeah.
Man.
Some people think it's the rust from the dome cracking open. They say it's rusty shut, it been closed so long.
Oh man, these niggas is crazy. That shit made my head hurt. Like niggas like that.
Hey,
God,
whatever happened, I know I'm reading this
rust from the dome. What the niggas saying, bro? What the fuck? Oh shit, man. Niggas is getting dumber and dumber. Niggas get dumber and dumber.
look,
I
I don't have no.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
Look,
I got
every concept of what the earth is true and not true at the same time.
Yeah, so like
We look, we in perpetual creation by mutual agreement by coming to a synthesis at the same time.
Yeah.
When the mind is split, we have a Mandela effect.
Go ahead.
But when it comes back together, then the Mandela effect comes into a new reality. It merges two timelines together to bring unity between cosmic forces. It's a conceptual physics formula scattered out in story format in fairy tales and mystery stories, legends of old, right? Because what's in your subconscious comes from the superconscious, which goes is filtered through the earth consciousness itself.
Somebody asks what's going. Okay. Somebody asks what's going. Hey, before you answer this question though, my next thing because hey, how long? Because Bible said 2030. This will be. He said that we'll go through these 7 years before 2030, where they're being ripped out, and it's just like you're saying right now. They're throwing fires. They're doing all this stuff to make it chaotic on the land. So we got how long do you think we got of this chaos? Like, and you like I heard you say earlier that we're gonna need to. It's gonna be you say in between a week to 6 months. I think you said or 90 days that we had to have.
That's the blackout.
Okay, the blackout. So
the blackout can be anywhere from.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, it could be anywhere from the black could be anywhere from 30 minutes to 90 days.
Okay.
Right, the cease movement can be a cease movement for anywhere for a couple of hours to 90 days.
Where they block the interstates and shit.
Yeah. Right. Now, what was a catalyst in the forest fires is if a caravan of deep state actors hit a highway, they can shut them all down.
Wow.
So you remember, they got private armies in the woods on private campgrounds or private, I should say, ranching grounds.
The cartel.
And they got little villages carved out in the middle of the woods. So they be burning the village out. But if they happen to escape and hit an interstate, they'll shut all of the interstates down so you won't know which interstate they're using where they fighting that war. This basic understanding of military protocol will show you an idea of what kind of catalyst would cause them to shut down the freeways in continuity of government status. The only thing that would cause them to have to shut the freeways down is if they know that a whole army of these motherfuckers didn't escape and they got to shut a freeway down, but so they don't know that they know exactly where they at, they'll shut them all down, and that'll keep us wondering what the hell going on.
Go ahead.
But they over there blowing up shit, tearing up shit, setting shit on fire, and reporting it to us later on as a forest fire. It was a bad fire in Idaho, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, or in Canada, it was a big old wildfire just bust out. No, they set those fires for a reason.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm gonna give you a reference about them using fire to clear the forest embankments. If you go back to the Vietnam War, they was using Agent Orange and napalm, clearing the forest for the soldiers to be able to get in there. That's the same thing they doing now. But now they done got it where they can burn small patches and trap you in the middle of it. See, they done got surgical with it because they can use laser beam precision with fires.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's right. They did the same thing during the Seminole Wars. The Seminole Wars, they burned all them trees down. Like you was talking about in Florida, all the big trees we had. they burned them down, and they like surrounded them with a fire to get them in one little closed area so they can come down on them.
Now remember, we used to walk treetops if we wanted to from Louisiana to Florida.
That's right. That's right.
Now remember, in early colonial America, the big deal was being what? A lumberjack.
That's right.
Right. So the lumberjacks is the ones who continued to clear the land in the ceasefire period of the contract. They still don't. They still. So now you can drive long stretches between Arkansas, Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi to Louisiana and see patches of open area that wasn't there before.
That's right.
Right. They use them to build they disposable houses. We didn't build disposable houses. This shit they build and calling houses now, none of our craftsmen that's native to our culture would agree with it.
Go ahead.
That's not how we built. Quality was more important. Quality was, we wanted to build a castle, so we used stone so that mug would stand up for a long time.
Right. That's right.
Right. That's a cultural phenomenon. Pyramids is a cultural. Yeah, pyramids is a cultural phenomenon. There's only one culture in the history of the world that ever built pyramids.
Go ahead.
Right? Because the people that y'all calling Kemet, dynasties of Egypt, they just came and strolled over some ruins of the shit we left behind.
Go ahead.
Right? So they cleaned up a little bit of sand from around them and set up their empires. Right? Reenactment of historical events that took place there by looking at the hieroglyphic depictions telling you the stories.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? So you was asking about a time frame.
Yeah.
I can't give you a time frame. I can give you a reference. Can you pull up